Hi everybody, hope you're doing marvelously well. You may recall about a year ago we tried these. They are the Austrian Audio HI or Hi-X65s. And I joked at the time it was a little bit like having a pair of NS10s stuck to your ears. Very mid-rangey, really good for checking mid-range detail, but didn't have a particularly large extended low end. Well, now they've sent us these to try. These are the Hi or Hi-X65s. So let's try them out. So I feel like this is like a reactions video, isn't it? You know, where they get like producer reacts and then they play back a song and people go, wow, God, listen to the groove, the feel. I feel like we're going to kind of do a reaction here because I've not tried these yet and I have not mixed anything or worn any headphones all day. So my ears are pretty clear. So this is going to be a gut reaction. They're also letting us give away a pair. So you can look down below to enter to win a pair. Okay, so they look very similar to the other ones. The nice thing about them is they're comfortable, but they don't grab your head. There's another couple of pairs of headphones that I like the sound of, but they're really aggressive on my head. Yeah, they seem to be, this is comfortable. Not flying off. Comes with a nice little bag. They come already with a 1/4 inch on them or a 3.5 mini jack. So there and there. You remember the rule? You know when you got your headphones on around the right way, which I don't. Now I do, because they always go on the left-hand side. Okay, so input on the left-hand side. Now they're around the right way. Go figure. All right, now what I've got is I've got a collection of songs that I have mixed and I have recorded. So let's check that out. We're going to go to, let's go to Katie Laurel Hurricane. Give that a listen. Okay, much better extended low end than the others. Back to You is a track that I did with London Lawhorn, and that's also got some pretty nice low ends. Have a listen. It's a tight kick drum, sounding good. It's going to do a little, here's another track by a band called We Were Astronauts. Okay, so it's not like massive extended. It's not boost up. It definitely sounds like there's more low lows than we had in the 55s. I'll go back and double check that in a minute. But it doesn't sound like they've exaggerated the low end. So here's another track by Steve Magora, the wonderful Steve Magora. And this is a pretty live sounding track. So definitely balanced on the low end, really super detailed in the mid-range, like really super detailed. Sounds very immediate. The Hi X55s or the HI X55s had about a 5-6 dB lift at around about 1.2 to 1.4K, which is very similar to a pair of NS10s. That's why I call them the NS10s for the ears, because they have like a 7 dB at 1.5K. That's what NS10s always did. They had this really aggressive mid-range, which these aren't quite as aggressive, but close to. This feels a lot flatter in that area, but the high mids and above feels a little bit more, I wouldn't say hyped, but a little bit more boosted. But definitely a lot flatter in the low end. There was like a low mid dip on these, which is actually quite pleasing sometimes, you know, because thickness of low mids can get a little bit much. This feels a lot flatter down at the low end, meaning I could probably have some more fun by pushing the low end on these.
I was sick, I felt that pain in my heart. I would lie in bed at night and dream you tearing me apart.
Okay, I'm really digging these. So what I'm listening to here is a live off the floor, literally live recording, live vocals, live piano, live drums, live bass from Jonah Smith. You might know Jonah from, was it America's Got Talent? The low end is really nice. You can hear, at least on these headphones, you hear that foot tapping on the piano? There's a pair of 47s over the piano, and he's just tapping his foot down like that. So I can feel that. So the low lows are there. Now, I'm not sure what you're listening to there, but the high end is super hyped on this. So you hear that right at the beginning here. So I'm hearing like 7, 8, 9, 10 area is definitely a little bit, I wouldn't say hyped, that's kind of an overused word, isn't it? When anybody doesn't like something, they call it hyped as a kind of a negative. But I definitely feel an additional kind of boost in the 7, 8, 9, 10 area. Like I say, it feels a lot flatter in the low lows, a lot flatter in the low mids. It feels like the pure mid-range, about 600, 708, to about 1K is a little bit dipped, but it doesn't have that huge or that large boost in the pure mid-range that the 55s had. These, I think, are going to be really useful for mixing accurate low end because it feels pretty flat down there. If I'd been using these headphones when I was mixing this song, I definitely would have brought down some of the 7 to 10K boost on the overheads and the cymbals, because this is really revealing them. And it's excessive because I'm not hearing it as bad on the others. So this is good. This is good information. Mary Spender, I'm sure you know Mary.
What's wrong? Did you know it wouldn't last long? Someone better come along. I'll be waiting. Someone better worthy of a song. I guess I should end this one.
Let's move on. We've got some Little Empire here.
Don't open my eyes. The battle is done, and I think that you won. Don't open my eyes.
This is good. This track is really smashed. You can see it, and more importantly, you can hear how smashed it is. And some of the high mids are just a little bit clipping, and I'm hearing them like crazy on these headphones, which is good. You know, I think where these were all about mid-mids, these are about high mids and high end. Not super high. I'm not talking about the 15, 20K and above. It's really is that sort of, I would say 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8, 9, 10 area. There's definitely a lot of presence in that area. All right, last but no means least, let's listen to Alex Khalees' Fire. Yeah. So where those reviewers were calling it detailed, you can tell why they're calling it detailed. They're talking about that hypersensitive area for our ears in sort of the high mids and the beginning of the high end. Because anywhere between 3 and 7, 8, 9, 10 is like really evident to us. And there's a lot going on in that definitely like 6, 7 area. I like them, and they are quite different to these. I think the fact that the high-end detail is going to be fun to listen to, and especially if you're working in digital, maybe you're clipping a little hard, that's going to be useful. But I think actually the main thing these are going to be useful for is getting really good flat low end. Because when I listen to that Sly and Robbie track, which I know has a really tight low end and really perfectly sculpted, it worked really well. I know that I've got to achieve that in every mix I do. And in an environment like this, where these speakers have been EQ'd, for instance, for the room, and, you know, I have to be able to listen to Sly and Robbie and go, that's great. And now all my mixers need to sound like that. And I have a similar feeling with these. Now, they're not cheap. They're $419. Enter to win. They're giving us one pair to give away, so please enter down below. I'm going to live with these for a while. I've been using these on the laptop all the time. I've been using my Blues when we've been doing the live streams with the extended low end. But it's quite possible I might try these a little bit more regularly because of the low end. I'm going to have to get used to not excessively building the low end, because these are going to be more accurate down there than what I'm used to using. It's an interesting one. It's like, why are you buying the headphones? If you want something that's accurate in the low end and pretty flat down there, this is going to be the way to go. If you want something that's kind of more enjoyable and boosted, then this is not what you want. You don't want something that's quite flat down there. You want something that's excessive and like boomy, so you can kind of have some fun listening to your music. I think these are definitely, or I would say, I believe that these are designed for people to mix on. They're not designed for just the pleasure of listening, which I totally understand. Horses for courses, as we like to say. So we've done quite a lot of stuff with Austrian Audio over the years, the last couple of years since they've been a company. So don't forget that you can download multi-tracks from different songs we've recorded using their mics. So here's a quick performance of a couple of those videos, and don't forget down below to download the multi-tracks and enter to win a pair of these lovely headphones. There is a link down below. We got to talk at NAMM with one of the designers who basically gave us a breakdown of what was great about this capsule. Taking from the classic 414, or as we used to call it in the UK, 414, taking that classic capsule design and actually returning to a little bit more to its roots. Therefore, it has that sort of inherent sound. Now, I have C12s and C12As, and I'm wondering how this is going to perform, especially in my mind, against something like a C12A. It's kind of reminiscent in some ways because, of course, the silver finish. Now, it has all the usual things. It has a figure of 8 all the way through to Omni. And, of course, it has pads. And, of course, it has a high-pass filter from 0, 40, 80, and 160. So I'm going to leave everything open. You're going to see why. Because there's two wonderful things that this does. First of all, there is an iPhone or a phone app, an Android, an app that you can control the polar pattern in real time. So if you flick this switch all the way over here, you can control it in real time. Why is that going to be useful? That's going to be useful in a live situation. This microphone takes up to 148 dB SPL, meaning you could pretty much put it anywhere you like. So somebody could have like 8 of these and record a band live. You could put a pair of overheads on the kick drum, on a bass guitar, on some guitars, on a vocal, whatever you want, and then control the polar patterns, making it very, very tight, going to like a hyper or super cardioid pattern, something as tight as you possibly can for better rejection. That also can be a blessing when used in different circumstances, i.e. in the middle of a live room when I'm tracking a band. Maybe I'll want it to be Omni. Actually, when I come to think about it, you could experiment with room mics between Omni or figure 8 song to song. You could print different things. But in a live situation, that's where the app on the phone comes in. Now, in a recording situation, you could also do that. But better still, you can take a stereo pair of cables out of it. Use the microphone as a pure stereo microphone. So over a drum kit like this, we could pick up left and right at the same time. That would be fantastic as a room mic. If you just have one of these, stick it in the middle of the room between the band, and suddenly you've got an amazing stereo image. all of that, and you won't get any better because there's going to be no phase problems because it's the front and back of the capsule simultaneously. But the next thing about it, and I think a really exciting thing, is you can change the polar pattern. If you record it in stereo, you can change the polar pattern after you've finished recording.
Your smile, you drive me wild. Your eyes intoxicate. I get restless, leaves me breathless. I can hardly wait to be a man, the best I can, to sing you songs, to make you dance. I'll be the fool who takes a chance to end up next to you. I wouldn't change a thing. T-shirt and cut-off jeans, from your head down to your feet. You're perfect to me. The way you tie your hair, the way you just don't care. You're perfect to me. From your head down to your feet. Crazy cool, make your own rules that I love to watch you break. I'm confessing, you keep me guessing. I can hardly wait to be a man, the best I can, to sing you songs, to make you dance. Be the fool who takes a chance to end up next to you. I wouldn't change a thing. T-shirt and cut-off jeans, from your head down to your feet. You're perfect to me. The way you tie your hair, the way you just don't care. You're perfect to me. From your head down to your feet. You got me singing, oh, oh, oh. You got me losing all control. Girl, you got me falling into you. You got me singing, oh, oh, oh. You got me spinning, don't let go. Girl, you got me falling into you. You, I wouldn't change a thing. T-shirt and cut-off jeans, from your head down to your feet. You're perfect to me. The way you tie your hair, the way you just don't care. You're perfect to me. From your head down to your superstar girl, my sweet little honey, giving all the boys a run for their money. Got it going on, it ain't even funny. From your head down to your superstar girl, my sweet little honey, giving all the boys a run for their money. Got it going on, it ain't even funny. Your head down to your head down to your feet.
Reading on the back, it says frequency range, 20 hertz to 20K. Maximum SPL, that's the one I want to know. It's interesting, it says 148, and in brackets it says 158. Anyway, the point is that's a high sound pressure level, meaning it can take some oomph, which is good because it's going to be on a bass guitar amp, it's going to be on a guitar amp, and all kinds of other stuff. So there's the high passing here, 0 to 160. And then what do we have? We had pads 0, minus 10 dB, and minus 20 here. So that's good. So 3 pad switches. It's a fixed cardioid microphone. It's nice, substantial. Now, those of you that have seen the other review we did of Austrian audio mics will know that they are all ex-AKG employees. So this is made in Austria by Austrians. What happened is AKG was sold and they closed down the original AKG factory in Vienna, which was a big deal So now that beautiful factory has gone, and the employees, not all of them, but a big group of them, went off and started this company.
All I need is a TV show, that and the radio. Down on my luck again, down on my luck again. I could show you some of the people in my life. I could show you some of the people in my life. It's driving me mad. Just another way to pass through the day. I get so lonely when she's not there. You're just another face that I know from the TV show. I have known you for so very long, feeling like a friend. Could you do anything for me? Can I touch you for a while? Can I meet you on another day when we would fly away? I could show you some of the people in my life. I could show you some of the people in my life. It's driving me mad. Just another way to pass through the day. I get so lonely when she's not there. Turn it on, turn it on, turn it on again. Turn it on, turn it on, turn it on again. Turn it on, turn it on, turn it on again. Turn it on, turn it on, turn it on again. Turn it on, turn it on, turn it on again. Turn it on, turn it on, turn it on again. Turn it on, turn it on, turn it on again. Turn it on, turn it on, turn it on again. Turn it on, turn it on, turn it on again.
I hope you enjoyed that little refresher of the previous videos we've done using Austrian audio products. And don't forget to enter to win down below. Please leave any comments and questions. Have a marvelous time recording and mixing, and we'll see you all again very soon. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, au revoir.